Okay, we're going again, and I'm going to go through this again real quick. We just did the lesson 1. I'm going to save this as lesson 2. I'm going to save this as lesson 2. Save as lesson 2. Okay, I end up with a dozen or more. Okay, I want to save the copyright. I wonder if this is what's causing me trouble. I had some weird trouble. Okay, we're going to, I want to move this, our bitmaps, Control X. I'm going to move them into a file called bmp header.h, and that'll just make things easier to look at, so we don't have as much stuff floating around in here. I'm going to get rid of, it says wait for display, but it's before the display, so that's kind of weird. We got to keep the display. We got to initialize our display, and then this is the one that displays that splash screen, so we're going to get rid of it, and we're going to get rid of the draw pixel, so we don't need a delay. We're going to move all this up into the loop, okay, and so we're going to get rid of that test draw bitmap, and we got the loop, and we're not going to play with the star right now. What we are going to do is int x equals, what does x need to be? X is going to be, we want to move it to the far side of the screen. We want to move it from right to left, and like I said before, this far side is the screen width, so we want our x to equal the screen width. And then, so we're going to make this x. It's going to say, how do you spell x? And then we're going to move it from right to left, and we're starting out at 128, and we need to go down to 0, so we need to decrement it. And if x is less than or equal to 0, then we want to move it back to the right side of the screen. So there we go. Let's see how that manages. If we blow up, we're compiling. Uh-oh, rocket was not declared. Oh! Delete expletive. Pound, define, no, not defined, include. What do I call it? BMP header. So, compiling. And we haven't blown up yet. So, the objective is to move the rocket from one side of the screen to the other. This is our first attempt at animation. And here it goes. We're getting loaded, getting loaded. Getting loaded. Oh. And there we go, we're moving. And we're moving. You see how it disappears when it hits 0, because the 0, the icon is 20 by 20, and that means the upper right hand corner of the icon is 0, 0. So when the icon 0 hits the screen 0, it blanks out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way. We're going to minus the rocket width here, which we could have just said -20 or negative rocket width, but for clarity I'm going to say 0 minus rocket width. And let's get loaded. Oops, oh no, I touched the button. We'll just, that's the easy part. Alright, so we're connecting and we're loading. Oh, there it goes. Okay, and here as he hits, see, there he is. He fades out of the screen. And if we wanted to, we'd give him a little more delay. But what we're going to do right now is, okay, we got him at 40. We're going to go ahead and keep the our little, we're going to make the Adafruit star. We're going to make the Adafruit star our little enemy ship. Okay, so what do we want to use here? We should call this the enemy X. Yeah, let's use a little x. It's too hard to spell large capital letters. Okay, so we need to oops, int enemy X equals okay, we're going to send this one from right to left. So enemy X, and then just to make things easy, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll do enemy X no, we got to increment because we're going to move from right to left, and then if enemy X is greater than or equal to the screen width, then enemy X equals 0. Okay, so let's see what explodes now. Random drumming. Had some weird troubles that I started having when I when I commented out the wire. So I'm wondering if that is important, because I commented out everything still works, but then it works funny. Okay. Anyway, besides the point, there goes the star and the ship. That's so funny, they pass twice. Well, eventually what I want to do is move the star around randomly and not, I don't know, I'm trying to decide if I want it to collide with the ship or not. Seems kind of suicidal. But that is motion. That is our first animation. And we're going to stop there because this went too well. Scares me.